Good morning, everyone. How are you today?
Good morning, Miss Angelita. I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. I'm very happy to see your smiling face today. Before we start our lesson about mathematical logic, let's pray together. Agustia, could you please lead the prayer today?
Yes, Miss. Fine. Before we study, let's pray. Begin. Pray. Finish.
Thank you, Agustia. Now, before we get into the material, let me check the attendance first. Is anyone absent today?
Everyone is present, Miss.
Excellent. Now, is everyone ready to learn math? Let's prepare our book and pens. Now, let's take a look at our main topic for today. We are going to study mathematical logic. Now, let's take a look at our main topic for today. We are going to study mathematical logic. Alright, class, before we dive into the material, I want to share our learning objective for today. There are three main goals we want to achieve. First, we will learn about identifying statements and open sentences. I hope you will be able to distinguish between open sentences, which contains variables, and statements that have a fixed truth value or true or false. Second, we are going to focus on categorizing simple and compound statement. You should be able to differentiate between simple statements that stand alone and compound statements that combine multiple ideas using logical connective. And third, we will practice applying logical connective and truth tables. We will use five logical operators: negation, conjunction, disjunction, implication, and biconditional to determine the truth value of compound statement through truth tables. Does everyone understand what we are going to achieve today?
Yes, Miss Angelita. It sounds interesting.
First, let's look at the definition. Mathematical logic is a way of thinking based on reasoning, and its truth can be tested mathematically. Now, let's discuss our first point, open sentence. An open sentence is a type of sentence whose truth value is not yet known. For example, look at this equation. 2x plus 5 equals 7, or x squared plus 1 equals 10. We cannot say if they are true or false yet because we don't know the value of x. Another example is 12x plus 6 equals 91. This is called an open sentence because its truth still need to be proven. We must ask, is it true that 12x plus 6 equals 91? It depends on the value of x we use. Agustia, do you have any question about what an open sentence is?
I understand, Miss. So, if there is a variable like x and we don't know the truth yet, it is an open sentence, right?
Exactly, Agustia. Great job. Now, let's move on to the second part, which is about statement. A statement is a sentence whose truth can be determined. This means that a statement has only one truth value. It is either true or false. Keep in mind that these two truth value cannot both apply to the same statement at the same time. Let's look at some example of true statements. For instance, the capital city of Indonesia is Jakarta, and 2 times 5 equals 10, but are clearly true. On the other hand, we have false statements such as the result of 3 plus 5 is 7, or Bika Ambon comes from Ambon. Even though they are wrong, there are still called statements because we can determine their truth value. In general, statements are divided into two types: simple statement and compound statement. We will explore this more deeply in the next session. Agustia, can you give me another example of a false statement?
How about an elephant has two legs, Miss? That is a false statement.
Excellent. You got it, Agustia. Now, let's explore the types of statement. First is the simple statement. A simple statement is a statement that can stand alone, so it does not require a connective. In mathematics, we usually represent this statement using symbols like P or Q. For example, father goes to the office can be P and mother cooks rendang can be Q. Next, we have the compound statement. This is a combination of two or more simple statements connected by logical connective. An example would be if father goes to the office, then mother cooks rendang. Another one is younger sibling plays football and runners. Do you see how they are joined together, Agustia?
Yes, Miss. They use words like if, blah blah blah, then, and to connect the sentence.
Correct, Agustia. Those words are part of the connective. In mathematical logic, there are five logical operators: negation, conjunction, disjunction, implication, and biconditional or equivalency. We will learn how to use each of these connective in our next session. Any questions so far?
No, Miss. It's very clear.
Now, let's talk about our first logical operators, negation. Negation is also called denial or the opposite of a statement. To form a negation, we can add the phrase, it is not true that, at the beginning of the sentence, or simply insert the word not into the statement. Let's look at the truth table on the screen. If statement P is true, then its negation P is false. Conversely, if P is false, then negation P is true. For example, if we have the statement all animals are living things, which is true, the negation becomes not all animals are living things, which is false. Another example, if the statement is 39 is a prime numbers, which is false, then the negation is 39 is not a prime numbers, which is true. Agustia, if I say the sky is blue, what would be the negation of that statement?
The negation will be the sky is not blue, miss.
Excellent. You understand it perfectly. But look at the second one. If P is the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees, true, but Q is the measure of each angle in an equilateral triangle is 90 degrees, false. Then the conjunction P and Q becomes false. Agustia, why is the statement 2 is an odd numbers and 2 is a prime numbers considered false?
Because 2 is an odd number is false, miss. Since one part is false, the whole and statement becomes false.
Perfect. You got the logic, Agustia. Now, let's move on to the third logical operator, disjunction. Disjunction is a compound statement that uses the connective or. In mathematics, the word or is symbolized by this. So we read the notation this as P or Q. The rules of disjunction is a bit different from conjunction. Disjunction is true if at least one of P or Q is true. It only becomes false if both P and Q are false. You can see this pattern in the truth tables on the screen. Let's look at the examples. If we have statement P is 3 is a prime numbers, true, and statement Q 3 is an odd number, true, then P or Q is true. Even if one of them was false, like in the second example where Q is false, the disjunction remains true because P is still true. However, look at the last example. 2 plus 6 equals 7 false, or 6 equals 7 minus 2 false. Since both parts are false, the whole disjunction P or Q is false. Agustia, can you tell me when a disjunction becomes false?
Disjunction is false only if both simple statements are false, miss.
That's correct, Agustia. Well done. Now, Let's move on to the fourth logical operators, implication, which is also known as a conditional proportion. To understand this, let's use a simple story. Suppose Dina makes a promise to Dini, if I win a medal in the National Mathematics and Science Olympiad this year, then I will buy you football shoes. This promise is only valid if Dina wins the medals. In mathematical logic, we can write this as P is winning the medal and Q is buying the football shoes. Symbolically, it is written as P implies Q, which we read as if P then Q. In an implication, the statement P is called the hypothesis or premise, and the statement Q are called the conclusion. Here is the most important rule. The implication P implies Q is false if and only if P is true and Q is false. In other words, if Dina wins the medals but she does not buy the shoes, then her statement was a lie or false. Agustia, how would you feel if you won the medals but didn't get the shoes?
I will be disappointed, miss. That means the promise was broken, so the statement is false.
Exactly. That is the logic of implication. Now, let's look at the truth table of implication to see how it's worked in different scenarios. Remember the key rule? An implication is false only when the hypothesis P is true and the conclusion Q is false. In all other cases, it is true. Look at the first example. Statement P is 3 is a prime number true and Q is 3 is an odd number true. Since both are true, the implication P implies Q is true. Now, look at the second row. P is the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees true. But Q is the measure of each angle in an equilateral triangle is 90 degrees false. Because a true statement leads to a false conclusion, the implication is false. Interestingly, if the hypothesis P is false, the implication is always true, regardless of whether Q is true or false. For examples, if 2 plus 6 equals 7 false and 6 equals 7 minus 2 false, the implication P implies Q is still true. Agustia, based on the table, what is the only condition that makes an implication false?
It is only false when the first part is true, but the second part is false, miss.
Spot on, Agustia. You mastered the truth table. The most important thing to remember is the truth value. The biconditional P if and only if Q is true, if both P and Q have the same truth value. This means if both are true, the result is true. If both are false, the result is also true. But if one is true and the other is false, then the biconditional is false. Agustia, so if I have two statements that are both false, what is the value of their biconditional?
It will be true, miss, because they have the same truth value.
Exactly. You've done a great job following all the logical operators today. Let's look at the example on the screen. Statement P is 30 times 2 equals 60, which is true. Statement Q is 60 is an odd number, which is false. When we combine them into a biconditional, 30 times 2 equals 60, if and only if 60 is an odd number, the result is false because the two statements have different truth values. Agustia, why is the biconditional statement in this example false?
Because the first part is true, but the second part is false, miss. Since they are not the same, the result must be false.
Exactly, you got it. Well done, Agustia. To see how well you understand today's material, I will give you a small assignment. Please find 5 examples of compound statements in your daily life and determine their truth values. You can write it in your notebook and we will discuss it in our next meetings. Agustia, is the assignment clear?
Yes, Miss Angelita, five compound statement with their truth values. If got it.
Great. I think that's all for today. I hope you all can understand this material well because it is the foundation for our next topic. Thank you for your participation and for being so active in class. Don't forget to study at home. Let's end our session with a prayers. Pray begin. Pray finish. Thank you everyone. See you next week and have a great day.
Thank you, Miss Angelita. See you.